Hello everybody and welcome back to Liberty and Racing for All. I'm your host Jackson Merriman, and this is not Intro to Racing Part the Third. As you could tell from the title, this is Sunday's NASCAR race finish. In review, the whole thing was amazing. I mean, it was unbelievable what Austin Dillon had to do in order to win. RCR, his team, has been having a little bit of trouble this year. Their engines aren't quite as good as everybody else's. That's kind of just an engineering deal. That's not really Austin Dillon's fault. So really just hard luck for Austin Dillon. It's been 68 races since he last won, and he came here to win in Richmond, Virginia at Richmond Raceway on Sunday. So he fights his way all the way to the top. And with 2 laps to go, there's a wreck. And I'm thinking, oh no, Austin, no, just hang on for a couple more laps because now we're going into overtime. Now I'll explain NASCAR overtime. They're gonna restart with the green flag, then they drop the white flag, and then they wave the checkered flag. If there's a caution before they get to the white flag, then they'll restart. But it's after they get to the white flag, then that's when the race is kind of decided. It's an official race once they pass the white flag, so the leader at the time of caution will be the winner. So Austin Dillon knows he has a lot of pressure on him right now if he wants to be able to win. On his outside, Joey Logano, champion from 2 years ago. And he does not get the jump on the restart that he needed. And Logano just flies by him. I'm thinking, oh no, Austin, what did you do? Clears him, 3 and 4, white flag, and this is pretty much over for Austin Dillon. He's about to lose second to Denny Hamlin in third. And the head down the backstretch, I'm thinking, no, he worked so hard for this. RCR needs this. Richard Childress Racing needs this. And then Austin Dillon does what I never thought he would have done. He cooks it into 3 and 4, completely blows Joey Logano out of the way. And I'm now like on my feet, I'm going, what the heck just happened? This is insane. But now he's lost a lot of momentum just from hitting Logano. So now Denny Hamlin comes to his inside, and I'm thinking, oh no, he's still going to lose the race, and he's going to get fined for intentionally wrecking Logano. But then Denny Hamlin gets loose, he slides up the track. Austin Dillon turns him right into the wall. He turned 2 people into the wall in the matter of 100 yards. And he comes to the checkered flag with the caution flag and wins the race. And I'm like, oh man, this is unbelievable. That is insane. And the reason why I think it's so insane is because over 30 years ago, Dale Earnhardt Sr., running the same number 3, went to Bristol, fought hard all day long, had second place, only to Terry Labonte in the 5 ahead of him. Going down to 3 and 4, Dale Earnhardt does what he needs to do, gets his hands dirty, boom, dumps him right into the rest of the field and wins the race. And that's what just really made me go crazy, is because, like, yeah, Dale Earnhardt didn't do it. He's one of the greatest NASCAR drivers of all time. If you're new to racing, you need to look up Dale Earnhardt because he was one of the greats of the motorsport. And to see Austin Dillon do that over 30 years later, not to 1 car, but to 2 cars, oh man, that was the closest I think I've ever seen to Dale Earnhardt. Unfortunately, Dale Earnhardt passed away in 2001 at a race in Daytona on the final lap. So I've never been able to see him race, only from highlights and everything. But man, I wish I could have. He was really one of the best NASCAR drivers. And thankfully, I got a little glimpse into that with Austin Dillon on Sunday. But unfortunately, Austin Dillon does not have the name or the titles or the 7 championships that Dale Earnhardt does. As hard as it for me it is to say this, I think Austin Dillon, that was a bad move. That was a really bad move. I think you messed up on that one. Because Dale Earnhardt, he's the greatest. He can do whatever he wants. He's won 7 championships. That's more than one hand. That's like both hands right there. And Austin Dillon just doesn't have it. Doesn't have a championship. Doesn't have a lot of wins. Still has kind of a lot to prove. Even though he has won a few races, it's just not at the level that Dale Earnhardt does. And by the time you start winning those championships, winning those races like Dale Earnhardt did, then people start looking out for you. They're like, oh man, Austin Dillon's coming, better get out of the way. He's coming. But right now he just doesn't have that. And I think that's what made it so crazy that he did that on the last lap, coming from over 4 car lengths back. That just doesn't happen like usually ever in racing. And I think that's why a lot of people are mad at him for it, especially Joey Logano fans, Denny Hamlin fans, stuff like that. They're not going to take this well because, like I said, Dale Earnhardt, you saw him in your rear view, you better watch out or move out of his way or do something. Better have a plan for him. But Austin Dillon trying to be hot shot, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of people are just going to take that the wrong way. The way I see it, I think Austin Dillon needed this win. He needed it for RCR. He needed it for himself. And as selfish as it is for me to say this, I think that's what pushed him to the victory. It was just that pure desire to win. So that's my opinion on it. I mean, you can go look up the replays, decide for yourself on it. But post-race interview, Joey Logano putting out a little watch out. He said, the reporter asked him, he's like, how is this going to affect how you race Austin next week at Michigan? And he said, just wait and see. Boom, mic drop, walks away. So you're going to want to tune in next week, 1:30 on USA for the Michigan race. That's going to be pretty exciting. You're going to see a lot of sparks. If Logano has the chance, he is going to absolutely blow Austin Dillon away. You could see it from that post-race interview. He's not going to take that lightly, and I don't think Denny Hamlin is either. I mean, Joe Logano's crew chief asked Austin Dillon, spotter, like what was going on, and he was like, oh man, yeah, I kind of told him to go for it. That was my bad on our team. So now it's out in the open. Austin Dillon's spotter told him to like go lower, try to pinch Denny Hamlin on the bottom, and that's what ended up wrecking him. So I think both those drivers are going to have vendettas against Austin Dillon. So stay tuned for next week's race. That's about it for this video. I'll have Intro to Racing Part 3 out shortly. I'm going to put all 3 of those into a little playlist. You can watch them back to back. If you haven't done it already, please consider subscribing, like this channel, like this video, share it with your friends. This channel is to give the racing community a little boost. So I'm going to have lots of really crazy stuff going on this channel, racing related. So stay tuned, it's going to be fun. I'll see you later.